Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Ipshita. Today we will read about Golden Hour Syndrome. So 10 points that we need to remember about Golden Hour Syndrome. Number 1, it is facio-auriculovertebral dysplasia. 2. Golden Hour Syndrome consists of craniofacial anomalies in association with vertebral, cardiac, renal and central nervous system defects. On number 3, we will read the triad of this disease, which consists of epibulbar dermoids, accessory auricular appendages, and oral fistula. Fourth, we need to know the etiopathogenesis. So even though there are many different hypotheses, the one currently believed is there's imbalance in cells during the blastogenesis period. This involves derivatives of the first and second branchial arch. 5. We need to know the risk factors. So there are nutritional and environmental factors along with genetic dysregulations like drugs like thalidomide, cocaine and retinoic acids, maternal diabetes and hypertension, malnutrition, exposure to tobacco, chromosomal abnormalities like 3 deletion 5p, deletion 6q, ring chromosome 21 and recombinant chromosome 18, maternal and or fetal hypoxia, consanguineous marriages. Number 6, we need to know the prevalence. So 1 in 3,500 to 7,000 live births. The ratio of male is to female distribution is 3:2. Most of them are sporadic occurrences, but familial occurrence has been noted, and that is a autosomal dominant representation. In physical examination, we see epibulbar or limbal dermoids, microphthalmia, anophthalmos, lid notch, blepharophimosis or strabismus can be seen. Ear, anotia, preauricular tags, blind fistula and sinuses may be present. Face can have facial asymmetry, aplasia or hypoplasia of the mandibular ramus. Skeletal, in skull we can see microcephaly or dolichocephaly. Spina bifida may be seen. Other than these, anomalies of trachea, lung, heart, kidney and the gastrointestinal tract may also be present. So diagnosis is mainly clinical. However, prenatal ultrasound at 11 to 15 week can help us pick up the signs in those with familial autosomal dominant traits. Coming to management, from newborn to 2-year-old, we need to first assess for difficulty in breathing, feeding and sleeping. For 2 to 4 years, we need to look for mandibular hypoplasia, which can be treated with costochondral grafts if needed. If the presentation is at 6 to 8 years or in follow-up, correction of external ear deformities, this is the right time. And in teenage, facial structure correction can be taken up. Coming to ocular management, the dermoids are usually benign. However, they may cause astigmatism, amblyopia, strabismus if the epibulbar dermoid obstructs the visual axis, limits ocular motility, hinders eyelid closure leading to exposure keratitis. So surgical excision may prevent strabismus and amblyopia. On number 10, we need to know the prognosis. So usually it is good prognosis in patients with no systemic complications. So these are the points we need to know about Golden Hour Syndrome. We need to remember that even if a patient presents with a dermoid, epibulbar or limbal dermoid or even astigmatism, strabismus, we need to keep in mind to look for other associated features to diagnose the syndrome. And in case we do, we need to refer the child to pediatrics, ENT and other specialties so that any other associations can be detected early and the child can be helped. Thank you for listening to me. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends and colleagues. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do. Thank you.